What's going on, dudes? Welcome back to my channel. This is my first video with my new background. I got space for activities now. Super exciting. I used to be real constricted to like this little screen. I'm real animated, so I felt like I couldn't like move around, but now you just thought my pants don't match. All right. It's good to see you though. I know that I've been missing for a while, a couple months actually. I wanted to wait until the hype died down, to be honest. It is very much still my goal to educate as many people as care. It is my goal to educate as many people as care. What? As many people that care as possible. But yeah, I didn't want to do it in an environment that was real like fake. But it's okay. We're here now and we're going to dive into the good stuff, okay? Last time we spoke, I told you guys that I was going to dive into speaking about the native people of the Caribbean because I am Dominican, okay? So, essentially the goal of this video is to tell you guys a little bit about the Taino people, who they were. The bigger picture of this video is an effort to show you guys that we existed here before Europeans appeared and said that they found anything, okay? Some of us may know that, but some of us may not know where to find it, right? Because maybe you're in discussion with fellow Europeans or pink people or what people like to call white people, right? And you'd be like, hey, no, like I've been here, my people been here before. And then that person says, no, Christopher Columbus discovered stuff. And you're like, no, I know that's not right, but I cannot find the book, or I don't know where to look. I don't know how can I prove my point, right? If you like to deal with facts, right? So this is my attempt to kind of warm you up to the idea of, there is information out there. You just have to find it, and you can present your ideas in like a more intelligent way once you have these receipts. Not that you have to prove to anybody anything, but it feels good. Honestly, it feels good when you have your facts together and you can be like, no, that's not what happened, sweetheart. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P happened, baby. So, okay. And now, disclaimer, I am only speaking about the Taino people, which is personal to me because I am Dominican. These people resided, throughout the entire Caribbean, in Florida as well. This speaks more directly to me personally because of who I am. There is information about you and who you are and where you're from. Even if you think that you are only African American, like, no, there are native people from where the heck you live and where you're from, okay? So especially if you have family, generational generations, say you're from Florida, generational generations, chances are it's some native people that you're linked to. A common misconception is that we're all linked to, slavery. In terms of slave trade, like people coming from Africa, right? From the continent of Africa over there. That's not everybody's history. There's nothing wrong with that history. However, I think that it's a powerful tool to get everyone of the same complexion to think that they are descendants of slaves, right? Okay, that's my little disclaimer for the day, all right? Now, getting right into it, the Taino people. Who are the Taino people? Well, I watched this kind of amazing video that I will link below, and it's called Indian Slavery and Untold History, right? And it's basically about, again, like I said a little earlier, a lot of slaves were not transported from Africa. A lot of them, if not most of them, were from here, from the continent of America. For example, my mother took one of those 23andMe, whatever DNA tests, and she found that she had, like Native American. And she's like, how is that if I'm Dominican? I know I'm Dominican. But the thing is, these slaves were taken, native people, okay? These slaves were taken from, say, Virginia or New York or whatever, and taken down to the Dominican Republic, right? So now those are the slaves. And they're also taking slaves, obviously, from Africa as well. And that's how you get a mix, right? But it's key information and important to remember that most of us have blood of people that were here before. Okay, that's the That's the point, okay? So this video was really good at illustrating that. Again, I will link it down below. There were a lot of key points on the Taino people, stuff that I didn't know. The speaker, one of the speakers, I believe his name was Jonathan. I can't remember his name right now, but he goes on to talk a little bit about the Taino people. He's actually Puerto Rican, where there's still a heavier trace of Taino people. Like they still have a better grip on their history in Puerto Rico as it pertains to Taino people. So he starts talking about, you know, we don't have many artifacts. Our language is kind of dead for the most part. He explains that there are less than, I think it's 5 or less people that are like majority Taino, like, and those people are only about 60% Taino, I believe. So it's pretty much a wrap for that group of people, right? But however, all of us have the Taino blood in us, right? Right. Remember that. You might not be 60% or higher, but it's still there, baby. It's still there. In 1492, Christopher Columbus went and he landed in Hispaniola, aka DR and Haiti. Okay, that's the island that he landed on first. Lucky us. Yay. Cool. So he went there, right? And he met these native people, the Taino people, and they were nice. They actually were not a warrior tribe or community or group of people. They weren't really into you know, making weapons and stuff like that. I mean, they were on an island. They were chilling, frankly. They're probably just chewing on sugar canes and eating plantains on the beach with some beer, okay? So when these European came, they were actually very friendly to them. And they were like, hey, like, what's up with you guys? How are you? I love you. Come look at my gold and stuff. Right? Mistake. Because, you know, obviously Europeans, they know all about gold, right? So they see all this stuff, and Christopher Columbus is like, yo, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get my friends, and then, feel me, I'll be right back. So that's exactly what he did. In 1493, the second voyage happened, and that's when he brought people to, the European people to Puerto Rico as well. Okay, and at this time, you guys, there's about 50,000 Taino people, okay? There's about 50,000 in DR alone, okay? So, the guy, the European guy, his name is Ponce de Leon, I believe. He goes over there, right? He meets the tribe leader, and the chief's name is Aguebana, I think. I don't know how you say it exactly, but okay, that's the chief that he meets, right? So he meets him and he takes him to Europe, actually, and he pretends that he's buddies, you know, and then they come back and he's like, yo, I'm coming with more homies, right? Okay, so then that second time that or third time that they come back with a whole like armada or whatever the heck, a whole military thing, okay? It's a whole group of them, okay, ready to take over Tainos, basically, okay? Now, I don't know if that chief knew what was gonna go on. I doubt it highly. I'm sure he just thought, like Pocahontas, right? You're going to Europe to go kick it with these Europeans, and you're gonna come back and you think it's like, all right, I'm just going home now. It's been nice to know you. No, apparently not. So in 1501, Spain exports slaves that they already had in Spain, okay, to the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, the Caribbean, essentially, right? Think about that for a second. Slaves that they had already had in Europe, okay, they brought. Okay, so even there, it's not that people are being brought directly from Africa, right? These Africans were probably, and Lord knows, they could also be Middle Eastern. You don't know, okay? But slaves that they already had in Europe, they brought to DR, all right? So there already begins the mixing, all right? Okay, go ahead, keep going. By the way, they're bringing them to DR, and they're also bringing them to the U.S., okay? Remember that these European people had, you know, land in a lot of areas, okay? So they're bringing them to, you know, the Americas, like what's considered the United States of America, supposedly, and the Caribbean. Okay, both places. So between 1508 and 1511, I don't know. This colonization thing is going like full throttle, okay? It isn't until, I think it's like 1509 that the Taino people start wondering like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? Like, we were really friendly. Like, these people, like, what's going on? So the Taino people, they start thinking, they're like, all right. Because this is their perspective on these Europeans. These Europeans are arriving in ships. They have weapons. You know, they have things that they've never seen before. They consider the Europeans immortals. They think that these people are gods, you know, not human, right? Okay, so another chief, I believe it was a chief, or maybe somebody high-ranking in the Taino tribe, was like, listen, we gotta figure this out, baby. we got to figure this out. We got to take one of them and observe. Okay, so I believe they took, what was his name? San Diego? No, I don't know. They took one of these European Spanish dudes, right? They killed him. They drowned him in the water, right? And then they observed his body for like five or 7 days or something. And when they saw that his body did nothing, like he literally died, he did not rise again. He was therefore not immortal. So at that point, that's when the Tainos start feeling like, oh, wait a minute. I can do something about this. I don't need to take this. I'm better than this. By 1510, 1511, towards the end of that span that I didn't know which was which, remember? The Taino people, they were like, you know what? Now that we know that they're not immortal, baby, let's just boom, boom, boom with them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was an all-out brawl, right? But obviously, you're comparing guns to, like, I don't know, spears or something. Again, I remind you that the Taino people were not, it was not a warrior civilization. They didn't know what they were doing. Probably, they learned a lot of things from what they were seeing from what the Europeans brought. So, they were not, right? So, they got wiped out pretty quickly. I believe within, like, 20 to 30 years, mostly all of the Tainos were gone. A lot of people also had fled to the mountains, which is how we had some people survive up until like now, right? Why we still have people with Taino blood, because some people did go to the mountains. But feel me, yeah. But something really interesting I wanted to share with you guys from this book. It's called Sacred Woman, okay? And this book, Queen Afua, okay? This is a really good book for my ladies with wombs, okay? I love you. Please don't hate me, all right? Okay. This was something that I had found in a history book. Like, I mean, this is some helpful stuff too, but there's a lot of history lessons in this book. And now this is something where I saw my own people being represented before, because I did know about the Taino people and Columbus coming and doing all that. But this addressed my people before all of that, before the slaughter, before the, you know, the heartbreak, and before all of the gross stuff, you know, the gross stuff that you tend to know about your ancestors that have to do with slavery and, you know, genocide and all of that. This book mentioned my people, and I had to highlight it, okay? This book mentioned my people in a happy way and in their original way. And this book is what catapulted me into wanting to know more about my people and being less interested in European culture. I'm not gonna lie, okay? And now this little, just for context, this, in this section of this book, they're talking about so-called Egyptians. It reads, our Anu/Tua ancestors, now insultingly labeled pygmies, I don't know, were the originators of pre-dynastic Kemetic civilization and built the holy city of Anu, the biblical On, Greek Heliopolis. I don't know. These same Anu, the people, later migrated to become the Ainu of Japan and the Taino, of the West Indies. Y'all, when I made the connection, the actual literal connection of my blood linking back to Kemet, aka Egypt, the people that built pyramids, y'all. It was a wrap. It was a wrap for me. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing for the next 5 years. It hasn't been that long, but okay. So I did cut this video into 2 so that I don't risk boring the heck out of you. So thanks for tuning in today. Next video will be going up on Monday. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you know when the next video's up. Bye!